Hi guys, welcome to PBA 305, American Public Policy, where public policy comes alive. Also, excuse me, I have a mean case of the hiccups right now, but also where American public puppies come alive. We've got Dixie and Emmy right here with us this morning here, and they are very excited to see you guys. They missed you very much last week, and they are here to see you. Say hi, Dixie and Emmy. Say hi. Yeah, we missed you. Hope y'all had a good weekend. We're going to look forward to another fun week with you guys in American public policy. Yay! Yay! Okay. All right. Y'all are good girls. Okay. All right. So we are launching into another exciting week of policy. Here we've got, just to recap where we've been and where we are. We are, remember we started the policy formation that starts with agenda setting. We get a policy issue on the agenda, and then we develop that the policy solutions. We've identified a challenge, and we found solutions to that challenge, right? So we're getting, then last week we got a little bit into legitimation. How do we legitimize a policy and make sure that these policies are legal, ethical, what will be effective. There's a lot of studies, there's a lot of outsourcing that goes on with that in terms of, for example, running through the Supreme Court particular policy issues, or like we talked about, referendums, initiatives that put the policy to the people, so to speak, to make sure that the stakeholders involved are going to be on board with it, or they might have ideas, solutions that are going to help. So we're in a very fun week this week where we say, well, that policy has now been put into law. It has been vetted by all parties. All of the research and discussion has been done, and we are now looking at making it actually enacted. We're going to enact that policy and make it put it out into the world, so to speak. So that creates a lot of opportunities, a lot of challenges too. So the opportunities are to solve those problems that were identified initially. So this is where the rubber meets the road. We're actually going to solve those problems. But solving the problem creates its whole new problem. So you almost go through this whole new problem-solving process, right, where you identify the challenges, and then you meet the challenges involved by implementing resources, by putting the right people in the right places to get things done. In the case of the federal government, when a policy is implemented, oftentimes the charge of that goes to a federal agency. And so there's a unique example, right now, where a lot of new border security initiatives have been passed, and they go on to the Department of Homeland Security. And the Department of Homeland Security is charged with effectively implementing the new immigration and border security policies. And so there's actually an example from the course that you'll see that I think is very interesting, because there are so many different international and national implications. There are so many administrative challenges because it comes from the federal agency, but in a lot of ways it's enacted at the state and local level. And so there are so many parties involved that it's a tremendous challenge, not only logistically, but also managing the various resources and people involved to effectively administrate it. Of course, there's also a lot of backlash from public agencies and a lot of input coming in from people who think that the policies are unethical. The bottom line is that they're now law. They're passed by Congress and the president, and they haven't seen any Supreme Court challenge or shoot down. And so ultimately, ultimately we are in a position now where those policies are going to be enacted. So there has been some changing along the way in crafting, which has been very interesting. Anyway, these challenges present tremendous leadership and management from the implementation stage. A lot of leadership and management challenges, but also opportunities. It's an opportunity to bring good people together to execute what is seen to be a necessary policy enactment. So the other side of it is it takes a tremendous deal of participation from the parties that need to be involved so that we can execute those, because there's a lot of collaboration and leadership and management that goes on, but the actual parties involved that need to participate to effectively implement a policy aren't on board with it or doing their part, then it's a lot of times can be all for naught. Also, an important element of this is resources. Well, we have to have resources in order to effectively implement policies. Resources can be funding, they can be equipment, they can be information, communication technology, and sharing resources. For example, when we were on the border, implementing border, the state of Texas was implementing border protection on the along the state border between Mexico and Texas. They identified a need to put game cameras out, about 500. I don't know how many thousands and thousands of game cameras out that they decided needed to be put on the border to take pictures of people coming across the border. And so there was this huge initiative that was like Operation Game Camera, where they put out these game cameras out so that they could see, and record, data on people coming across the border. And so there has been a tremendous amount of efforts like that to collect numbers. The numbers of arrests, I think, coming across the border this last month in August was the highest that it's ever been. There were 13,000 arrests of illegal immigrants that were coming across the border this past year. A lot of that's because efforts have stepped up to arrest illegal immigrants, but also there's a lot of unrest and war and just crime and things that people are trying to escape in Central and South America. So they may or may not be aware that efforts have been stepped up to arrest illegal immigrants, but they actually it hasn't seemed to deterred a lot of the inflooding. Okay, so some interesting things going on there. At that, I'm going to bring Dixie and Emmy back up to say goodbye. Come here, Bear. Come here, Bear. Okay. All right, girls. You want to say goodbye to everybody? Okay. Okay. Y'all have a good week. Y'all have fun. Oh, you're so sweet. Y'all have a good week. We'll see y'all later. Okay. Bye-bye.